Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Seri, and in this video I'm going to show you how I painted this pink peony using the watercolor layering technique. The links to the reference image and the free line drawing are given in the description box below. The first stage of a painting is the base layer. This is the initial light wash, which has a very dilute tea-like consistency of paint to water ratio. In this stage, we paint almost everything, except where you want to save the white of the paper as highlights. One of the biggest dilemmas in this stage is whether to use the wet on wet or wet on dry technique. In my second color study, I used the wet on dry technique. Therefore, the petals turned out to be darker in color, more pink. However, I realized that I wanted the petals to look a little bit more luminous and transparent, and so in this final painting, I used the wet on wet technique. So in this technique, it is very important to properly wet the surface before you put down the paint. Even though this is the very first layer, but I start laying down foundations for some details. When I'm wetting the surface where I'm going to paint, I always take my time. It should be sufficiently wet but with no puddles. So once this layer of water is laid down, I took a small amount of Winsor violet, very dilute tea-like consistency, and applied it on the left side of the petal. And then I took a small amount of very dilute permanent rose and applied it on the rest of the petal. Then I used my brush to move the paint around and lifted some color to create highlight. For this central part of the flower, I once again used the wet on wet technique and then dropped in some cadmium-free yellow and also permanent rose, both very dilute. While all that was drying, I moved on to the leaves. I took some Viridian mixed with neutral tint, very dilute as well, and then applied it in the inner side of the leaf. Then I took a mixture of permanent rose with Winsor violet and applied it on the tip of the leaf and on the sides of the leaf. For the second leaf, first I applied the mixture of permanent rose and Winsor violet on the tip of the leaf and on the edges, and then I took the mixture of Viridian with neutral tint, also very dilute, and applied it on the inner part of the leaf. Then after painting two more leaves, I moved on to paint the sepal here. So for this, I took the mixture of permanent rose with Winsor violet, wet on wet, and applied it on the outer edges of the sepal. Then I took a small amount of Viridian mixed with neutral tint and put it down in the center of the sepal. And then I took a small amount of just hooker's green and applied it at the base of the sepal. I used my brush to adjust and move the paint around. For the outer side of the leaves, which tend to be lighter in color, I used cadmium yellow and hooker's green and a mixture of both. So in some areas I dropped wet on wet some cadmium-free yellow, and then I applied in some places the mixture that I made from cadmium yellow and hooker's green, and also at the very base of the leaves I dropped in some hooker's green as well. On the outside part of this leaf, first I applied a very dilute hooker's green. Then I applied the mixture created with cadmium-free yellow and hooker's green. And now let's move on to paint the stem. I'm using a very dilute mixture of permanent rose with Winsor violet and applying it only on the left side of the stem. Then I take my damp brush and use it to move the paint and soften the edges. This way the right side of the stem turns out to be a lot lighter in value, and this helps to give dimension to the stem, which makes it look more round. So in the second stage of the watercolor layering technique, we now move on to the midtones. Here's when we start to build depth and refine shapes. So basically we use the same pigments, a little bit thicker consistency maybe, or maybe not necessarily, and then we apply over the same areas, and also we start paying more attention to details in this stage. So the interesting part of this stage is that you can use the wet on wet technique once again, although the surface underneath is already painted. So to apply a glaze of water on an already painted surface, try not to use your brush too harshly in order to avoid reactivating the paint underneath. Apart from enhancing the colors in some areas, I also use my 000 round brush to create sharper details. So I did the same thing on this large petal over here. I applied a small amount of water and then dropped in permanent rose, and then used my brush to spread the paint and also pulled down some paint to create those veins on this petal. So here, instead of wet on wet technique, I'm using the wet on dry technique, which means that I lay down the paint on the area where I want to enhance the color, and then I take a damp brush and soften the edges. And I'm also pulling up some of the color in the petal to create details. So here again I did the same thing. I used the wet and dry technique to apply the paint first and use my damp brush to soften the edges and spread the paint. For the second layer onwards, sometimes it is a good technique because it gives you more control. Now it's time for the second layer on the leaves as well. For this I'm using a thicker consistency of the same mixture of Viridian with neutral tint and applying only on one half of the leaf at a time. I'm not too worried about creating details on the leaves because they are not the focal point in this particular painting. However, I want to create visual interest by creating variations in the tonal values. I'm painting only one half of the leaf at a time, using the mixture of Viridian with neutral tint, applying the wet on wet technique, making it a little bit darker where the leaf goes behind the smaller leaf that is in front. Here as well, where the leaf goes behind the flower, I used a little bit thicker consistency of the mixture of Viridian with neutral tint, like cream-like ratio, and then applied it using the wet on wet technique and used my brush to spread the paint around. So when the half on the right side was completely dry, then I wet the other half on the left and applied the same mixture of Viridian with neutral tint, Being very careful not to paint too close to the already painted area on the right. This helps to automatically create a vein right in the center of the leaf. Then I applied a small amount of the mixture of Viridian with neutral tint, this time wet and dry. For the second layer on the outer side of the leaves, I used a very dilute hooker's green because I know that hooker's green, which is a transparent pigment, will allow the cadmium yellow underneath to shine through. For this next layer on the stem, I'm using a thicker consistency mixture of permanent rose with Winsor violet on the top part of the stem and just Winsor violet at the bottom part of the stem. And then I use my brush to spread the paint and soften the edges. I thought the paint was looking a bit lighter in color, so I applied another wash of the mixture of permanent rose with Winsor violet. Once the stem and all the leaves were done, I now moved on for the third layer on the petals. Here I'm using the wet and dry technique. I took a thicker consistency of permanent rose and applied it at the bottom of the petal and then used my damp brush to soften the edges. And on this top part of the petal, I did the same thing with permanent rose, very dilute. First I laid down the paint and then I used my damp brush to soften the edges and spread the paint around. And again on the right top side of this petal. On this other petal over here, I'm using the wet and wet technique, applying a glaze of water very carefully, trying not to disturb the layers underneath. Then I applied the mixture of permanent rose with Winsor violet at the bottom of the petal and just the permanent rose on the top of the petal. Now coming to the central part of the flower, remember that this area only has one layer. So I'm using a very dilute permanent rose to enhance the colors. Then I took a very small amount of burnt sienna, dilute, to create those shapes that are, I think they're called filaments. I beg your pardon if I'm wrong. For now, let's move on to the bud. So here I'm using also the wet and wet technique, and after applying a glaze of water, I'm applying a very dilute permanent rose. Then I took a small amount of the mixture of permanent rose with Winsor violet and applied it on the left side of this bud. Then I took a very dilute raw sienna where the sepal is in contact with the bud. For the rest of the sepal, I used a very dilute mixture of hooker's green with cadmium-free yellow. If you have sap green, it would be perfect for this area. And then I used dilute mixture of hooker's green alone on the bottom of the sepal. To create the detail on the bud, I used the negative painting technique where I took a small amount of permanent rose, very dilute, to create the illusion of petals overlapping each other. Now I applied some more of the permanent rose on the top of the bud, and then I used my damp brush to soften the edges and spread the paint around. And last but not the least, finishing touches. It's very important to give finishing touches to your painting. Maybe the next day, re-evaluate the painting with fresh eyes. This is the stage when we adjust any imbalance in values, reinforce color in the focal point area, and clean up the edges. Thank you so much for joining me in this painting project. Please like, share and subscribe if you haven't already. I will see you soon with a new tutorial. Take care and happy painting.